If you follow Metaverse news, you will notice that the hardware device field is extremely hot with a new technology today and a new release tomorrow, and they are all rushing to announce their investment in Metaverse. After finishing the previous course, you should recall that we stated at this point, the immersive experience provided by hardware devices can only be considered half of the elements of the Metaverse. Furthermore, if you look closely, you will notice that although hardware device manufacturers are rushing to announce their entry into the Metaverse, none of them have made significant progress. What is the exact reason for this at this stage of development? Why can't hardware devices be the primary drivers of the Metaverse? In this lecture, I will look more closely at this issue. After this lecture, you will be able to tell whether a company is reliable or not when you see it in the news for hardware devices. So let's take a look at what efforts hardware device vendors have made to enter the Metaverse at this point. The hardware equipment of the Metaverse at this stage can be broadly divided into two categories based on product dimension. The first category is the head-up display device. Head-mounted display devices, which should be the most practiced and intense category of hardware equipment at the moment. Some people believe that a VR headset similar to the one shown in the film Ready Player One is a necessary device for the Metaverse. Putting on the headset device instantly transports Wade Watts from his home into a virtual world. As a result, many companies have launched their own VR headsets to enter the Metaverse, such as Facebook's renaming of Meta, while also announcing its project Cambria. High-end VR headset will be available in 2022. The Oculus Quest VR headset device was released in 2019. Another type of hardware device is gloves, electronic skin, etc. On November 16, 2021, Meta, for example, publicly displayed a haptic glove to the media, which appears to be a glove with a lot of wiring and plastic pieces attached. When you wear this glove into the virtual world to touch virtual objects, the gloves can be on the palm of your hand and fingers to apply some subtle pressure simulating the shape of virtual objects so that you truly feel the sensation. Furthermore, Meta's artificial intelligence researchers, in collaboration with scientists at Carnegie Mellon University, have developed Reskin AD for mobile plastic skin less than 3 millimeters thick, that uses changes in magnetic fields to create a sense of touch. Meta showed a video with a robotic arm with this skin gently grasping and lifting a blueberry. Doesn't that sound exciting? People are wowed by so many new technologies and products. However, please keep in mind that these seemingly disparate hardware devices all work in the same direction to use human sensory perception, whether visual, auditory, or tactile, to provide people with a realistic immersive experience. Your VR headset resolution is 4K. I will try to achieve 5K. The previous generation of equipment is very heavy, vertigo is too strong, and the user experience is poor. This generation of products will improve these aspects. Everyone's thoughts are similar. The technological innovation brought about by fierce competition is exciting, but it has not resulted in a shorter distance to the Metaverse. The fundamental reason is that achieving the ultimate immersive experience will not solve two major problems. The first conundrum is that the Metaverse's content ecology is far from complete. Hardware devices are media and tools, and users must enter the Metaverse's virtual world through these media and tools. If that world has not yet been built, hardware devices will of course have no place to be used, proving hardware development pointless in this field of Metaverse. The construction of content ecology must not lag behind. The hardware devices, which is similar to watching TV at home, where the first thing to consider is what programs and movies to watch, whether there is enough content, whether to buy a membership to see more content. Then you will want to change to a bigger TV like the Crypto Box, ALS, the Sandbox, Decentraland and so on, which we mentioned in the previous course as having an initial Metaverse forum. There are now many users joining, participating and experiencing them using desktop computers and their own cell phones, not yet using any wearable devices, but this does not seem to lessen user enthusiasm to participate on the Metaverse track, it is clear. That building a content ecology cannot be done by a single company or one type of company, nor can it be done overnight. And more content creators must be involved. As discussed in the previous lecture, all forms of creativity in the digital space do not require wearable devices at first and then gradually develop. To allow users to better experience the content through these devices, the entire process requires a lot of content support, but also time to develop. Why can't the initial Metaverse content support the rapid development of wearable devices? This has something to do with the second conundrum. The problem is that the underlying foundation is not yet ready. The underlying foundation discussed here is arithmetic power, also known as computing power. We just mentioned the Sandbox, Decentraland, and so on. When you log in, now you'll notice that they're all pixel block images that look a little rough or even very sketchy. If you've ever looked at the NFT avatars in the Metaverse, you'll notice that many avatar images are also low pixelated. Why is this the case? Why aren't these avatars rendered in high definition? Why isn't the early Metaverse as realistic and anthropomorphic as some video games? The reason is found in arithmetic power. We all know that the stronger the arithmetic power, the stronger the ability to process data. Take a look at our previous game comparison. This is what drives the increase in arithmetic power from early single-player games to today's overly complex and sophisticated games. Many games now support wearing headset device while playing. High-definition graphics provide a very realistic experience, and the experience process is also exceptionally smooth. But as we previously stated, the essence of the difference between the Metaverse and the game is decentralization. There is no game operator to make up a storyline ahead of time. Each character is an independent digital identity. His behavior is unpredictable. And when combined with a large number of participants, the amount of data to be processed will be beyond imagination, necessitating extensive arithmetic support to run in this case. If the image must also be high definition, very realistic and provide the user with a smooth and seamless immersive experience, the amount of data to be processed and the complexity are increased. This is why the Metaverse still looks like a blurry block of pixels. A plot like the one in the movie Ready Player One, in which you seamlessly enter another world by putting on a headset and getting a fully real-time anamorphic experience through a wearable device will not be possible unless the arithmetic problem is solved. You see, these are the two major problems that I mentioned. Hardware device manufacturers couldn't solve on their own: content ecology and insufficient computing power. Then you might say, I'm a hardware device manufacturer. I'll keep investing in technology research and development. I can immediately connect to the Metaverse while waiting for the ecology to build a good computing power solution. You were correct, but you must consider the investment issue. The investment in hardware devices is huge and costly. From R&D to manufacturing, there is a lack of business opportunities to support its development, implying that it requires a lot of long-term investment. Of course, if a company like Meta has the financial resources to make continuous large investments, it can choose to gradually accumulate hardware device capability and integrate innovation. But if it's other companies that aren't strong enough, such a large amount of long-term capital investment isn't going to be easy. Is there a good way to get hardware devices now that they've been grafted to the form of the metaverse? I've seen one company that takes an interesting approach. Varjo is a finished hardware manufacturer that produces high-end enterprise VR headset devices. They claim to be Retina-grade VR. The company recently launched a new product, not a hardware device but a cloud-based collaboration platform called Varjo Reality Cloud, which is regarded as the first step in the company's metaverse plan. What is the purpose of this collaborative platform? If you bring their headset device, you can scan your surroundings and turn the space you're in into a realistic 3D virtual scene that you can then share with others. Via this collaborative platform, other users can interact with you by using VR headset devices or 2D devices such as computers, cell phones or remote access to the scene. You in this platform will support a wide range of application scenarios, including social scenarios, remote offices and even factory operations. The imagination is exceptionally large. See, is this a bit of metaverse flavor? Using hardware technology to provide immersive experiences in some scenarios of user needs without an independent identity system, but also to achieve a certain level of business closure. I believe this can be referred to as metaverse fragments. Varjo's platform is distinct from other hardware manufacturers who only work in the direction of immersive experience. It is a new direction that can leverage its technical strength to bring out the capabilities of hardware devices while also making efforts at the content level to initially integrate with the metaverse. As a result, Varjo has evolved into a content creation company for the metaverse's development, providing a convenient creation tool for other potential content creators. That is what I believe is important to learn from that. Hardware vendors do not need to wait for the content ecosystem to be built and the computing power problem to be solved, but rather invest in a model where they can see business pattern and revenue. Furthermore, this shifts its role in the metaverse from a passive hardware device waiting to be selected by the content to an active participation in the content creator. If you hear that a hardware device company is making moves at the metaverse content level in the future, it may be worth paying more attention to that company. So, to summarize this discussion, hardware device vendors have created a diverse range of wearable devices, all eager to announce their entry into the metaverse, but none have made significant progress. This is because there are two challenges that cannot be solved solely through the technical development of hardware device vendors. The first is the lack of a content ecology, and the second is a lack of computing power. Companies that specialize in hardware devices can achieve a certain level of business closure if they have content-level services and then piggyback on hardware devices.